Welcome to Trading is What I Do, episode 4. Today's episode is with the great Drew Bishop, also known as Bish Capital on Instagram, formerly known as Forexbish.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
If we have time, we'll get into that. I know a lot of people was kind of curious what happened with that.
Yeah, no doubt.
As always, let's go ahead and get this interview started. Tell the viewers how you became a trader, what your passion, what led you to forex, and what led you to Bish Capital. Sorry.
Cool. Yeah, no doubt, man. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet as possible, and you can kind of ask some questions if you want some more details as we go. But basically, my journey started in college. So I played college football at University of Memphis, and I was a walk-on. And what that means is basically you pay your own way through school. You're not on full scholarship. So at the time, I didn't have any really income to trade or invest. So I always had the itch to do it. My family comes from an institutional background. My dad and all his brothers work from the institutional side. So I've kind of always grown up around the markets, but never fully was invested in them, And then after my sophomore season, I got put on full scholarship in college. So I started having some more money, some more money to invest. And so I started kind of investing, trading a little bit, but it wasn't as much active trading as it was just kind of more investing, kind of getting involved in the markets, kind of getting my feet wet, you could say. Mm-hmm. And then I guess, during my career when I was playing ball, I tore both my labrums in both my shoulders. So I wasn't really able to have the career I wanted to. And so I knew it wasn't going to be a long-term professional type style career. So I got into medical sales outside of college, and I still trade on the side. And that's when I kind of really took my trading a lot more serious. I traded for about 3 years, and I was in the medical sales gig. And about my fourth year in the job, I kind of reached, I kind of reached my ceiling, from a monetary standpoint. And then as well from like a like pushing myself out of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like the first 3 years was crazy because we worked in surgery. I worked in the OR where I would basically open up different implants. If you broke your ankle, for example, I would sell you the plate and the screws to fix it. So I'd be in the surgery, helping out with the surgery, stuff like that. So it got my adrenaline going, at least for a couple of years. It was awesome. I was pushing myself. It was a very different career path. So it kind of kept me interested, And then, like I said, about year 3, I kind of got in the groove. I got a little bit complacent. It wasn't as exciting to me anymore. I didn't really have that adrenaline going. And so I started really doubling down on my trading. And I said, okay, this is going to be what I want to do for a living. I want to make this work. And so I started living below my means. I lived in a piece of shit apartment, excuse my French. And I just, I saved up. I had bought a pair of clothes and I couldn't tell you how long. I did the whole tuna and rice, all that kind of stuff. And ended up last year, I quit my job. I quit my medical sales job mid 2020, and then took the jump into full-time trading and full-time entrepreneurship. And here we are now, about a year into it, and it's been great, man. It's been a complete life change. It's been a journey, ups and downs, dark and light, and it's been all. I wouldn't trade it for the world, though. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's dope, man. I know how it is as far as like being a walk-on and living those college days, because I played college ball and I was a walk-on too.
Yeah, it sucks.
I was living off soup, water,
right,
like prison food, but I wasn't a prisoner, so I know how you feel with that, man. So what were you, a receiver? I could tell by the jersey in the back.
Yeah, slot receiver. Yep, I got him hanging up.
Okay, I see that. You have to send me one signed or something.
No doubt. Got you.
I know you have a lot of things going on now. Like I know you mentioned you were, at least you mentioned to me personally, like you were in a process of doing like a course. Like what projects do you have? Besides the course, like do you have one-on-one mentorship? Like what projects do you have now for people?
So, I started documenting my journey last year on the Forexbish page. We can kind of get into that later, what happened. But basically, my goal was to kind of document, what it was like for me taking the jump, going from, the corporate world to attacking it full time, And so I was documenting the journey. I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted at some point, create a business out of it, whether I was managing money for friends, whether it was a prop firm, whether it was a, course. I didn't really know. And I just kind of documented the journey, and then come last November is when I lost my page. And I went about 2 months kind of not knowing what to do. I was about to go work from an institutional standpoint and start trying to, trade from a hedge fund and stuff like that. And I just decided to try it again, and, made my social media page at the beginning of this year. It kind of grown again. We're getting back started. And what I'm working on now is basically a one-on-one coaching program. So I created what I call Bish Capital Academy, right? And it's basically, it sets up like a freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, like almost like a university style for trading. And I was going to release that to the public at first. And then, I just decided I wanted to try something different. I wanted to build something to where if I was still in my struggling years, right? If I was struggling with my trading, I wanted to build something that I would have wanted, personalized for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew that at the time, of course, I'm not talking anything bad about, of course, they help, right? But just to me, I don't learn that way. I don't learn like from videos and then you kind of do it your own way, right? I learn from coaching, taking criticism, being able to take those things and then kind of turn them into my own thing. So I need somebody kind of in my ear, not necessarily for motivation, but just give me a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty hard-headed. So I like hearing different stuff. I like being coached. I think that's just part of the athlete in me, So what I've switched is now I'm doing a one-on-one coaching type program where I've also hired on a human behavior specialist. And basically, I'm going to be doing the coaching, your technical system, understand the price chart, stuff like that. But the goal of the program is I want you to come in. I want to find out what you want to do, what type of styles you want to have. And I'm going to walk you through how to build a system that fits your personality, fits your lifestyle, and fits the style that you want to trade. Because I think a lot of times we buy courses or you can be a part of programs and here's a strategy, here's a Facebook group, learn this strategy, right? Yeah. And a lot of times it just doesn't work because what works for me might not work for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so then I want to find stuff to where I can make it personalized plan for each trader, And then I'm in the process now of partnering with a funding program. So that way you come to my program, however long it takes you to go through it and to kind of get your system together. And then after it, you have the chance to go swing the bat, go play professional. You get a chance to get funded. And that's what I like to say, for me, and I'm sure you went through the same thing, as an athlete, my whole life was all centered around sports. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was training, whether it was games, whether it was practice, whether it was college, whether it was before that, all my life was centered around sports. It's all I knew. My whole lifestyle was. And then the day my last senior year ended, I had my last surgery. So I knew my career was really over. And I remember during that rehab process, I was in the darkest place in my life because I didn't know what to do. I didn't feel any self-worth. I didn't feel any value about what I was doing myself. I felt like everything I had worked for just got taken away from me. It's like, now what do I do? I've always been known as an athlete. Yeah. Now I can't play. What's left, And I kind of lost that feeling of like competition. And I was in a really dark place, bro. And then that's when I tried to find something that could make me feel that way again. And trading to me was a lifesaver in so many ways, but specifically it scratched that competition itch for me. It allowed me to have something to chase after, something I would never truly grasp. Like I would never be the perfect trader. You know what I'm saying? I will never be the expert trader, whatever you want to call it. But it gives me something to always push towards, right? Because when I was growing up, I was always pushing towards the league. I always wanted to play in the league. I always wanted to be the man. I thought it was a chance, but I didn't really think I could get there. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like I'm pushing towards something that I know I'll never achieve, but it gives me enough to always be pushing and kind of stay motivated and keep competing. You know what I mean? So it's that sense of competition now that just allows me to push forward. And that's what I want to do with these same people. Whether you're struggling in your life about finding your value in life or what you want to do, I think it's tough because there's so many things to do. We don't know what to do. So I want to be able to take people in the program, build a specialized, platform, system, strategy, whatever you want to call it, that fits what you want, not what I want you to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at now. I just opened it up this past week. So I'm taking calls now. I'm kind of getting on calls with people because at the end of the day, it's going to be a very select amount of people that could come in because there's only so much time I can give people in the first place one-on-one. But then on top of that, like I had a call, and I don't want to bring any names, obviously, nothing like that, but I had a call yesterday, and it was with a young boy. And basically he was I could tell that we weren't connected, right? Like what he wanted compared to what I viewed was as success in the trading industry was two completely different things, And it's just one of those things where the call was supposed to last an hour and it probably lasted maybe 7 to 8 minutes because it just wasn't worth either one of our time because we wanted different things. What he thought was successful to me was something I'd go do at the casino. I go shoot dice, and I don't want to shoot dice on the charts. It's a different scenario for me, Yeah. And so there's just that different mentality that different people have. And so I think that's why you have to have a tailored plan for people if you're going to be coaching or providing education because everybody doesn't learn the same. You know what I mean?
I can totally relate to that. It's just like the athlete in me as well too, because you can tell who's a good coach, right? Like the good coach coaches the player, right?
Right.
You can yell at someone and that person is going to get motivated, and you can yell at this person, but then that person takes it to offense. But the coach's intentions was just trying to get you as a better plaer. So you're kind
of you got to be coachable.
Yeah. So you're kind of just tailoring your program to the person. That's pretty dope, man. And how long is your one-on-one? Is it like a certain hours, certain amount of time?
Yeah, so it's tough because every person comes in different skill level. Everybody comes in either with their own technical skills and they just can't piece it together, or they come in brand new. And what I was telling somebody today, I'd almost rather you come in with zero experience, because then I don't have to break you of the bad habits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they have such bad habits and such bad expectations that the first thing I'm going to have to do with you is change the way you think. It's going to be rewiring your brain to understanding what you're really participating in, because it's not a game. And that's something I love about trading, which I got distracted earlier when I was talking to you. But the best thing about this for me is, for example, like I wanted to play in the NFL. It didn't work out, right? I didn't have a chance. But when it comes to trading, I have a chance to compete against the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is turn on my laptop, computer, whatever you're at, and you can compete. Everybody gets a fair shot. There's no excuses anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets a fair shot. So there's no one to blame anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's the blame game. You can't play it. And as I'm sure you can tell, I get passionate. I'm a very emotional type person. And for me, just kind of giving out the course and not having that one-on-one interaction with people, I felt like if somebody wasn't successful, I would take it personal because I wasn't able to pour into them and find out what their problems were. You know what I'm saying? Compared to now, if you're in my program, I'm face to face with you and I'm emotional, I'm talking, you're gonna either get coached or you're not gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just finding that way to be coachable and understand everybody's different. What's right for me doesn't have to be right for you, but what's right for you, it doesn't have to be right for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So is it like, do you have like the first hour is free, just kind of introduction to see if this is going to work out or not? Is it like, do you have something?
So basically, like, let's say that, I don't know you and you hear about me or whatever, and you want to be a part of the program. So how it works is I basically book you on for a 10-minute call first. So basically a 10-minute phone call. And I go through and I kind of learn a little bit about you, find out who you are, what your goals are with your trading and then where your struggle points are. And within a few minutes of the conversation, I can already tell if you're somebody that I'm willing to work with or you're not, because there's either the people that are coming in that are hard-headed, that it's their way and they want you to help them learn their way, or it's somebody that's coming in and says, hey man, I'm struggling, I need help, I'm willing to change the way I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you are, then I'll book you for a 60-minute call, and within 24, 48 hours, something like that, I'll have a custom tailored program to you that I'll walk you through. And then by the end of the call, hey, if it's good for you, we get it rolling. If it's not, I still got love for you. It's no hard feelings.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And yeah, I like that. I like that. So, as far as like brokers, because I know a lot of people, especially new traders, right? That's going to be one of their questions. Like, oh, which broker do I use? Which broker do you currently use? And why? Like, which brokers have you tried before?
So I think, honestly, I think my first account was with Traders Way. I think that was what they were. I don't even know if they're still around, to be honest with you. But that was my first account. And then I use Oanda now. So that's who I use as broker now. I don't think there's, once again, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it just depends on what you're looking for. And me being in the U.S., I just thought it was important to regulate a broker. And I'm not somebody that believes, not necessarily I don't believe in it, but it's just not allowed to trade on the high leverage, so I don't need any leverage outside of what the U.S. offers. And they had good customer service with me. I was able to get, one-on-one calls, talks when I needed to, so that's who I personally use, but I'm pretty, unbiased to whoever you want to use. As long as they work for you, it is what it is,
That's awesome. Cause I'm, me being in the U.S. too, I'm with Ally Investment. But I've been looking at other brokers as well. I thought about Oanda. I was thinking about Forex.com. Have you ever kind of?
I never tried it. Honestly, I went with Oanda, and then I use TradingView for my trading platform. I don't use MetaTrader 4 or anything like that, so it's all integrated to it. So I can log into my broker through TradingView,
Gotcha.
And so everything I do is all on the desktop computer through TradingView. So I hadn't had any problems yet, so I hadn't had any interest in really looking at other places.
Oh, okay. Well, you mentioned it earlier. Rest in peace, Forexbish.
Yep.
For those who don't know, you have like 20,000 followers. Or
22, 23, 20, something like that. Low 20s.
And someone pretty much pretended to be like you.
Yeah, man. It sucks.
Explain to people who don't know, like, what happened.
Sure.
And the outcome of everything.
Yeah. So I started the page, I think it was the first day of 2020 last year. And like I said, I didn't have any expectations with it. I was like, just whatever, I want to document it for me type thing, and then it ended up getting some traction. I got lucky and kind of got the snowball rolling. And then a couple months in, it was growing faster than I could almost keep up with. And it was so random. It was the week after Halloween. I was just celebrating, with my family and friends and stuff. And I woke up one Saturday to just, I don't even know if I was posting or whatever it was. And I woke up and I tried to log into my account. I couldn't get in, and I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't log into it at all. It just wouldn't work. And I ended up trying on my home computer, tried my desktop computer, my wife's phone, and everything. It wouldn't work. It was crazy. And so I then logged into my personal account, and I had like 3 messages, and I don't want to bring up names, but I had like 3 messages of people that were just cussing me out. And I didn't know what they were talking about. I didn't even know what was going on. And long story short, what happened was there was about 4 different pages that were made, and they were like, one of them was like Forexbish with 2 X's. One of them was Forexbish, like with an underscore. One of them was, I don't even remember what the other ones were, but basically it was some, I don't know who it was still to this day, but somebody was basically just portraying to be me, and they were going around DMing all my followers from my page and telling them, hey man, I'm not selling the course, but I've opened up a money management system. If you're interested in being a part of, my program, send me some money. Within 2-3 weeks, I'll have you a good return back on your money, all this type of stuff. And unfortunately, people fell for it.
Oh man.
And then my page ended up getting deleted as a byproduct of it, because so many people reported it, as being a fake. And so that was it is what it is. And I tried messaging Instagram for probably about a month straight. I sent them all types of emails. I was holding up pictures of my passport, my ID, and all types of stuff.
That's crazy.
It just never worked, man. It never happened. So I always try to say God has a plan for everything, and it's not my job to understand what's going on. It's my job to react to it and try to make the best out of it. So I took about a month and kind of sulked and was upset about it. And then first of the year came, and I had a decision: either just make a new one to restart, or just kind of give up the social media stuff. And I just said, whatever, let's just restart and see how it goes. So that's where the Bish Capital came from.
Then how did Instagram reply to your emails? Like, didn't they say, "Oh, show us proof," or they were just like, "Nah"?
Yeah. So there's a support ticket. There's like, the problem is, as far as I've learned, if anybody's watching this knows what to do, let me know. But I couldn't get in touch with like a person. It was all like automated emails. And basically what they said was, okay, great, we understand what's going on. Let's prove your identity. So they sent me a code, and I had to write down this code like on a piece of paper like this, and hold it up in a picture and take a selfie of me and send it to them. And I literally did that for like 20 codes, like for a month straight. And they never once responded to my emails. So I just got tired of it. I was like, man, forget it. It's not meant to be. It's gone, whatever. And here I am now, restarted.
That's insane, man. That's
insane.
Man. Yeah, because I remember one day, everyone, because like the community that we're in, everyone was like, what happened to Drew? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. The guy rolled out, man. Hey, he asked me.
Folks thought I gave up on it, man. Everybody thought I gave up and dipped out on went to do real estate or something.
My money, man. I gave him $100 and he left.
Yeah, man. It sucked.
Well, speaking of scams, have you ever been scammed before when you first started off?
I haven't, man. I haven't. I got lucky. I was pretty. When I was early on in the journey, I was very I was trying to do it by myself. I wasn't looking for education. I tried doing the whole thing my way. And luckily, one of my best friends, Stu, he was into trading as well. So I kind of had somebody to bounce things off of and learn from. And I guess probably 3 years into my journey, I was profitable. By my second, not really, I guess my third year, I was really more consistent, profitable my third year, like from a trading standpoint. And going into year 4 is when I was like, okay, I got to make the decision, right? I'm either going to figure this out by myself, or I'm going to search for somebody that I can trust. And I had been watching Akil Stokes, his videos for like probably a year straight on YouTube, just watching the way he talked and the way he just analyzed the charts. And I read the charts pretty much the same way as him, but just his mentality was different than mine. And the way that he went about his business from a professional standpoint, from that rules-based standpoint, from a trading plan-based standpoint, was kind of where I was lacking. I had the knowledge, but it was more just going off of trusting my analysis. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a systematic approach. It wasn't a probability-based approach. I wasn't exploiting an edge. I was just pretty much getting lucky, based on just being able to analyze the charts. And so I spent some time under him, and it was a life-changing experience for me. And at the end of the day, I don't really think it was his education that their program offered. It was truly just his support, and being able to just bounce off my real questions, some genuine questions that I had, and having somebody that I trusted and I looked up to that I know has done it before to answer from. So many people, I feel like they beat their chest about saying that they're self-taught, whether they bought somebody's course and they don't want to talk about it, or they just think that they look better from doing it. It is what I don't believe in that. I have no problem. I would tell, I hope he claims me as one of his students because he changed my life. So it was a great experience to learn from him, man. And like I said, it definitely helped me. Not only did it help me, to get to the next level, but it also helped me to find out my path for how I wanted to create a business, because I want to do the same thing, the same way I feel about him, that I talk about him. I want somebody to be talking about me the same way.
That's dope, man. And I know Akil. He's one of my traders that I truly respect. Just because his psychological, his mindset, right? Because trading is mental, whether you like it or not, or admit it or not. Trading is mental, and you got to be your own psychiatrist, right? So,
Absolutely.
And just his mentality on the mindset, the psychological part, it's pretty amazing. I love reading his quotes and just hearing him talk. So
yeah, he doesn't no fluff. There's no fluff with him, and that's what it kind of turned me. And that's the thing too. I always try to tell people like, hey man, like somebody hit me up and they'll send me maybe like a trader's page or something, or like one of their trades that they see somebody post like, hey man, you think this guy's a scam? Do you think they're a scam? I have no idea. I don't know, because one of my buddies, he likes flipping accounts. That's what he does, and he does it successfully. But it doesn't work for me. So it doesn't mean that because somebody else does it that it's a scam. So I think it's so tough to find out, what is a scam and what isn't. I think you just have to do your research, and you have to find out, what does somebody preach, what do they teach, and do the values of what they're talking about align with the lifestyle that they live and the way they portray themselves. It's just tough,
Yeah, because it's sad, man, because there are so many scammers out there, and it's making the traders who like yourself, who are really passionate about this, like giving Forex a bad name, right? There's a lot of people out there who see the word Forex and they're like, oh, he's a scammer.
Bro, and I'm telling you, it's funny because you tell somebody that you trade stocks, it was, oh man, cool, congratulations, Wolf of Wall Street, badass, that's dope. But you say, yeah, man, I trade Forex, and oh man, you trade Forex? It's like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand why it's like stocks is held up here and Forex is down here. It doesn't make sense to me, But at the end of the day, like my boy told me last week when I was going through some emotional things in my mind, like I was just getting frustrated because it's weird. And I'll be just transparent with you guys and everybody that's watching this. Like, I don't promote any trading content on my personal page, like my personal Instagram. I don't even think half of my friends know that I quit my medical sales job. It's just something about like the way the industry is portrayed. I still have a hard time almost owning up to what I do. I'm still trying to break out of that shell and get more confident in the fact that, hey, this is what I do. If you don't like it, you don't believe in it, that's your life, that's you, But for me, this is the way I make my living. And I've earned my living from this. You know what I'm saying? And what he always tells me is opinions don't pay the bills. And that's the truth. They don't, because somebody's always got an opinion. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. Me personally, I have a personal account as well. Like I have my family account, my personal account, then I have my Forex account, right? See, no one really knows my personal account.
I had no idea.
People will try to request me. It's a joint account between my wife and I. And other Forex people, they'll try to request me, and I always tell her, look, if it has anything to do with trading, deny. Right? This is my
keep it separate.
This is our account. It's just like when you have a 9 to 5, right? You leave work at work, you come to your family. So I separate that lifestyle. So no, man, I'm totally with you with that, man. And
it helps. I'm not proud of it. It doesn't necessarily make me feel better, but it's just what works for me, and that's what I'm saying. Whatever works for you works for you. It doesn't have to work for everybody. As long as it works for you, that's all that matters.
Exactly. So what do you think about, people who indicators, no indicators? I know your charts are naked, and there's always a thin line. There's an argument between that. Like, what do you tell people who are like, no, you got to use EAs, indicators, or no,
right.
Like, what's your input on that?
I think it just comes down to the same baseline of the things that I'm talking about. At the end of the day, what works for you works for you. I don't personally believe in indicators. I mean, I think it gives me the analysis paralysis stage. And what's funny, JP, is the people that I've been talking to, in these application calls, almost, I would say 90% of the struggles is all the same. They have so much information, so much stuff. They know so much about the charts, but they can't piece it all together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I got a business marketing degree. I'm not fancy. So I try to keep things as basic as possible, as simple as possible. And I think us as humans, it's human nature. We try to complicate things to almost give us more validation in what we're doing. Because if my trading is more complicated, then it's more professional. You know what I'm saying? When that's just not the case. And so I think when it comes to indicators is if it works for you, use it. If it doesn't work for you, you ain't got to use it. I'm just not a believer in them.
And as far as your trading style, what what time frames do you trade?
So I basically use 3 time frames. So I use the daily time frame to kind of create my bias, right? Like for example, I identify, are we trading at market structure, right? And if we're trading at structure, then I got a structure-based trading plan I'm looking to take advantage of, whether that's a double top, double bottom, 3-bar play, ascending channel, descending channel, something like that. And then I use the 4 hour and the 1 hour for my entries. So I'm not somebody, I don't believe in like using the daily time frame and then scaling down to like the 5-minute time frame, because I think for me, every time frame tells a different story. And a lot of times I know when I struggled, in my early years, like for example, we'd be in like a bullish trend on the daily time frame, right? And I'd go down to like the 5-minute time frame and we'd be in a bearish trend. And I would be confused and I wouldn't be able to time it right. And I think the biggest thing when it comes to trading is it's all about timing. Like to me, that's the one difference when I tell people, and it might not be, correct, but for me, the one difference between trading and investing is timing. When we're trading, it's all about timing the correct moves in the correct time and exploiting that edge. When you're investing, yeah, you want to somewhat, time for a decent price. But at the end of the day, your timing isn't as near as important as your direction is when it comes to your investing, right? When it comes to trading, you got to time it and you got to have the correct direction. You know what I'm saying? So I think time frame management is so key. And I also think it's one of the biggest flaws in most traders.
I totally agree. And it's funny because I tell people this too. I'm like, it's similar to what you just say. I'm like, each time frame has its own trend and you can trade that. Each time frame has its own trend. You could trade that. It just all depends on your intentions. Right?
Yep.
If you're trading the 15-minute, 5-minute, and your intentions are just to get 10, 15 pips, and the 5-minute is bearish, but the daily is bullish, you can catch those pips, right? It just all depends on your intention.
Can you time it? Can you time it right?
Yeah, it's all timing. It's your intentions, and like you said, like the daily can be bullish, but the 4 hour is bearish, and that's just a correction from the daily, right? And I tell traders that, and they get kind of confused. They're like, "No, what the daily?" Like, no, what? Like, what's your intention? You can't. If your intention is to get 100 pips on a 5-minute, you're gonna get stopped out because that's pretty big for a 5-minute.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
And that comes through experience, man, and yeah, so I love the work that you're doing. I love your philosophy.
Thank you, man.
I've been following you since Forexbish.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Before I cut this interview here, can you tell the people where can they reach you? Like besides Instagram, is there any other place?
Yeah, sure. So honestly, I would tell you the best place to find me is going to be Instagram for now. I got the YouTube channel, but I'm a little bit slow on it just because, and like I told somebody yesterday, my personal trading is probably going to start. It's not going to necessarily go down, but it's definitely going to slow down in what I add into it because now I'm starting to deal with other people. I haven't been running a business for the last year and a half. I've just been trading by myself and putting out content. But now it comes to the fact that I'm running a business now, so I got to pour into people. I got to spend more time with other people. So it's tough. But I would say the best thing to reach me at is going to be Bish Capital, BISHCAPITAL, and then I can get back to you on the DMs.
And I'll have all that information down in the description. I'll have your IG and the link to your YouTube. But yeah, man, hey, this was a great interview. Very, very interesting. Like I said, I've been following you for years, and to finally meet you like this, it's an honor. I truly have nothing but respect for you, and I can tell the way what you said, where the way how you look at Akil, and the words that you speak of him. I can tell there's people already there looking at you the same way. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
Stay tunnel vision. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I really appreciate you. So
thank you, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Everyone who's still watching, mahalo for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, and hey, God bless everyone, and mahalo for watching.
Amen.